Hello everyone, and welcome to the reading of the Unit 1 Modified Test. In this recording I'm going to be reading the test to you and showing you how to access your test. To get to your Unit 1 test, go into your course and on the left hand side blue navigation bar, click on the Unit 1 tab. Okay, when it is closed you'll see it look like this. Click on Unit 1 and scroll down. Once I have made the test visible to you, you will see it titled like this. It should say Unit 1 1.14 Test with a MOD on the end of it. Okay, if you see that, that means you have a modified version of the test for you. Click on that and you will be able to begin the test. Okay, you'll notice that the test is only set to be open to you once. Once you are finished with the test, you will basically not be able to go back into it unless you review with me first. Okay, you have to review with me first. In order to review with me, you can go into your course underneath the announcements and take the U.S. History Retake request form. You need to review on your own before you meet with me, but we can review together, and once I feel that you're ready to go back into the test, I will allow you to do so. Okay, but you have to do that first. All right, so back into the test. Begin Unit 1.14 Test Modified. It will give you a couple reminders, and also please be aware that even though there's a clock on the exam, when it counts down to 0, it will not boot you out. And if I do give you several days of time to take the test, please be aware that does not mean that you can leave the test open for days at a time. You do need to make sure that you are taking the test basically in one sitting. You could take a short break. You want to save your answers continually as you go and submit at the end. Okay, you may have to make sure that you hit the submit button at the end. Okay, so as you take the test, save your answers as you go, and at the end when you're finished, submit for grading, otherwise I won't see it in the grade book. Okay, the other important thing to remember is that if you leave the test open for too long, you might be logged out of the course, or you might lose internet access. So to protect yourself from losing your work, make sure that you use a piece of paper as you go through the test and kind of just jot down the numbers and write down the answer that you are choosing. Okay, so for example, if you chose the first option for number 1, you would want to put number 1 and write down the answer that you put, just in case you lose your answer and you have problems and you need to be able to resubmit the test or redo it. Okay, it's always just something safe to do. Okay, now this is not the answer there, I just use that as an example. Okay, so I'm going to go through and read the test to you and the answer options so that we can help you a little bit with your test. All right, number 1 on your Unit 1 test is, what did Captain John Smith require of the colonists at Jamestown? Was it that they grow only the crops he had the council leaders choose? They adopt Native American methods of cultivation, or they work in order to eat? Number 2, what was the main reason that Jamestown was founded? Was it to gain wealth, as a base for access to the Chesapeake Bay, or to bring honor and glory to the king? Number 3, how did the Mayflower Compact affect the settlement of Plymouth Colony? It served as a basis for passing laws for the good of the colony, it spelled out the religious beliefs of the colonists, or it set up the process for governing farming in the colony. Now remember, as you go through here, save your answers. So if you've already done 3, make sure you stop, save your answers. Don't click submit yet until you're finished with the test. Also, if I am going too fast and you want to hear something reread, you can pause, rewind, or fast forward the recording as needed. Number 4, thousands of English Puritans arrived in Massachusetts Bay as they fled persecution in England. What term is associated with this event? The age of voyaging, the Great Migration, or the Debtors' Migration? Number 5, what was a major difference between the Massachusetts Bay Colony and Rhode Island? Roger Williams found the Rhode Island believed in religious toleration. Roger Williams, founder of Rhode Island, believed in religious toleration. Squanto provided Massachusetts Bay with corn, but refused to do so in Rhode Island. Or option 3, the majority of Rhode Island colonists were American born. Number 6, which colony was founded by Catholic proprietors on land given to Cecilius Calvert in recognition of Catholic support for King Charles I? Was that Delaware, New Jersey, or Maryland? Number 7, how did the colony of New Amsterdam become New York? The Dutch sold it to the Duke of York because they were losing money there. The Amsterdam family decided to return to Holland, so they sold the land to the highest bidder. Or when the English captured the territory from the Dutch, the king gave it to his brother, the Duke of York. Number 8, which colony was founded as a haven for a religious group known as the Quakers? Delaware, Pennsylvania, or Vermont? Number 9, what was the Middle Passage, the transition from Africa to British slave traders who then transported the slaves to America? An agreement that allowed British ships to operate legally, or the second leg of a triangular trip from Africa known for its inhumane conditions. Number 10, why did slavery replace indentured servitude in the colonies as time went on? Indentured servants left plantations at the end of their servitude. Slaves were more intelligent and could be easily trained to undertake plantation jobs. Or the last option, it cost the planters almost nothing to use slaves. Number 11, what did John Locke believe? Natural law required governments to protect citizens' rights to life, liberty, and property. The government was not necessary as long as people functioned reasonably, or government should promote the health, welfare, and prosperity of its citizens. Number 12, what was a key belief of the Great Awakening? Salvation did not depend on membership in a single church. Non-believers were not in serious trouble with respect to salvation, or generosity was the key to salvation. Number 13, how did the French and Indian War affect the British and ultimately the colonies? They formed an alliance with the French, they increased Native American support, or they gained land but incurred heavy debt. Number 14, what was the major occupation in the middle colonies? Shipping, manufacturing, or farming? Number 15, what was not a major cash crop in the South? Tomatoes, rice, or tobacco? Number 16, what best describes the relationship between geography and economics in the 13 British colonies? All of the colonies benefited from good soil and a long growing season. The diverse geography of the colonies encouraged different economic pursuits, or the geography of the colonies had little influence on the economies that developed. Number 17, on what characteristics is the division of the 13 colonies into New England, Middle, and Southern regions based? Was it geography and economics, government and politics, or ethnicity and race? Number 18, which statement best describes the relationship between colonists and Native Americans during the 17th and 18th century? Native Americans were hostile to British colonists from the start. The two groups somewhat cooperated, but the colonists' desire for more land led to conflict. The colonists arrived in the Americas determined to exterminate the native population. Number 19, which was not a reason for founding or settling any of the 13 colonies? Okay, remember it says which one was not a reason. Plans to establish a democratic republic without a king, a desire to practice an unpopular religion without persecution, or a hope for a better life than might be expected in Europe. Hopefully you've been saving your answers as you go through the test. Make sure that you save them once again. When you finish your test, make sure that you submit for grading so it shows up to me successfully in the grade book. Just a reminder too, as you take a test, if you notice any questions that you don't not questions, but any words that you don't recognize, okay? you should look them up, or you use your textbook or a dictionary. Make sure that you're not guessing on the definition of words. It will really help you to figure out what the question is really asking for, or what the answer option is really providing, if you look up questions that you don't know. You should also do that while you're reading. It will really help you with your understanding when you're first coming across the information, and will help you to do better on any of the assessments in the course. Okay? If you have any questions at all, be sure to contact me. I'll be more than happy to help. Good luck on your test. I did want to mention one other thing. When we have a unit review for a test, I will make sure to post on the start page of your test a unit review. Okay, so I did want to mention this to you. When you first go into a test and you see the start page that will be here, it will be available for you when you first click on the test. There will be a link there that will remind you to go into the unit review recording. It will be there as well as in Class Connect for you. Okay? Again, good luck on your test.